Hey, lovers. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Ask DeeVa show.
So you can follow me on social media at Mz DeeVa for you. That is my handle on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, Mz DeeVa, the number 4YOU. You also can go to the Facebook page, hashtag ASKDeeva. You can also find that page on Instagram, hashtag ASKDeeva. For all things DeeVa, go to askdiva.onuniverse.com. Thanks, everyone. A friend to tell another friend to tune in to the Ask DeeVa show.
Lovers, today we're going to be talking about your children. Alrighty, so let's get the disclaimer out the way. 3 children, raised them personally, did that. So I can be able to tell you a little bit about it because I wanted to talk to a lot of you way back in 2010, but I was still in the process of raising them. But now they're 28, 27, 22, all in successful careers. So I think it's time because all the time people that personally know me are always asking me the same question. DeeVa, how do you deal with this? How do you do this? You know, it seems like you parent like this, and how does it come out like this? And I'm dealing with this child and she's this way. I'm dealing with another child and he's that way. And people come to me all the time. This has been happening for over 2 decades. So I am not some person that is new to this. And many children have been influenced by methods and mechanisms that I've suggested to my friends. I haven't raised their children for them. That I have just did my best to be the part that inspires them to, pull out that better parent, because the universe chose you as a parent. So you are a parent, not by mistake. This was supposed to happen. The law of attraction always knows what it's doing, right? So this was supposed to happen. So now that you've been chosen to parent this child, how can we pull out the better so that something positive and someone who has inspired you, is influential, has a big impact on the better that they will become later in life? So this is not to say that parents who have had children that have messed up and did some things off the radar, that you are a bad parent. This is not that podcast. This is not that at all, lovers. And I don't want anyone to get that kind of a thought process or to even put it out there that this is what I'm saying. Now, reminder to all of my lovers that I am still recovering from the respiratory ordeal cold that took me out, and took the voice and, kind of kept me off air. So you are still kind of reeling, having to be a part of that process. I thank you for your patience on it all, and know that, we're all going to be okay, because as the voice is coming back, I've had time. It reminds me of the movie Eat, Love, Pray. And the moment when, she had to wear the silent tag. So I've been silent. But in that silence, there's always growth. And there's always, inspiration and thoughts. And so I've been coming up with the topics and sharing them with you on the Ask DeeVa pages and letting you know what was coming next to get you all ready, right? So let's do a little bit more paying the bills, and I'll be right back.
Hey, Spreaker fans, your follows and likes are appreciated. So please go over there and make sure that you click follow and that you like this episode. Please leave a review if you can. I appreciate all of the love. Okay, I get it. So you do not want to go over to different places all over the place, every podcast app. You don't want to download a bunch of things on your phone, or you just don't have the room on your phone. I solved that for you. So you can go to askdiva.onuniverse.com, go to the podcast page and just click on the various ones, take a listen, or just go to YouTube. Some people don't want to download a bunch of apps. You can just go to YouTube. Ask DeeVa is on YouTube. So it's various places. I'm trying to make it happen for everyone because you all use different apps. So I understand that. Do what's best for you. I'm going to make the show available on every app that I can.
How epic is that I am on the Universe app and was able to create a website? And I was like, people like, oh my God, when you get a website, it should just say askdiva.com. Yeah, when you guys start buying the books, and when I start getting them speaking engagements with them dollars, we will have that. But right now, Universe is perfect. But honestly, anyone that follows my lifestyle and the love that I have for the yoga and the meditation and, just the clearing of the mind process and journey that I've been on for a while, then it's perfect. AskDeeVa.onuniverse.com, right? That just fits, right? Who's not even seeing how great that is. So I had to bring that in and say that for a moment. But let's talk about these children, all right? So, no particular order. I'm just going to tell you this. You, again, as I said at the beginning of the podcast, you were chosen to bear those children. You were chosen to bring them in the world. So if you have somebody in your family that has something negative to say about that, even if they're saying they shouldn't have had children and they are definitely not the ones to be those parents to parents to that child, because that child has potential to be this and they shouldn't be there. Stop letting all that negativity get in your mind. Stop allowing that to be a part of the process, right? So there's a lot that we are going to talk about on the children and raising the children. And there's just some more things that I'm going to go to. I have waited for this season to be able to do this. And I have books and topics and so many things that are coming out for this season, but you have to walk in your seasons accordingly, right? And I wanted to make sure that I completed what I was supposed to complete. And in that process, be able to take the learning lessons that I had in that process and say, hey, here's how I, applied this and here's how this works. Now, I was raised by a father that a lot of what you're going to hear are things that I learned from my dad. My dad passed away, but I have still kept so much of just his teachings as so many people have. And so there's a lot that impacted my life as well. My mother was not a spanker. So a lot of that you guys are going to get because a lot of just being under her, that impacted my life as well. So much of what I have is from the upbringing that I had with my parents, right? And so you just begin to create your own legacy and you begin to do methods that you say, this is surefire. Look at who I became. And now I can do these methods with my children and maybe even do something even better. You're not even that person and you're going to be something even greater than that, and so you can tweak it a little bit, and see if you can make it even greater. And so those things have happened over the years, right? So one thing you have to understand, all your children have different personalities. For those who have one, sit back because you may not understand this part. But, for the ones that have more than one child, you need to understand that they all have different personalities. So you can't punish them the same way. Every punishment is not for every child. So if you say, well, my only method is I come in and I beat that ass, DeeVa, and that's what I do. I beat that ass and that's how I raise my children. I'm telling you right now, with a multitude of children, say if you've got if you've got 2 to 6 to 8 children, that same mechanism is not going to work. For one, if you're beating them all, there's always going to be a smart one in the bunch that's going to figure out how to maneuver doing what they want to do around those spankings, right? So you're not just spanking them every day. You're not going to be able to do that mechanism to raise children. And you can't do that mechanism on all children in the room because it's just going to become ineffective. Children learn little techniques from parents that are spankers. They learn how to count your strength in spanking them. Did you know that there are children out there that do that? So I'm going to give you some tips that work better than spanking. So I'm going to share you how these things help shape the children that I have today that, are successful in the things that they do. Right. So, but there are some children that become immune because they learn you and they also know how and when and where with you because you're so predictable. So again, if they say, well, DeeVa, what was your secret with how you would get them to listen to you and you're not pulling out a belt? Girl, I am unpredictable. I am very unpredictable. I am not anything that your grandmother ever prepared you for. You see what I'm saying? Like, I am not that person. You are not going to be able to predict what D will do next. So because of that, being an unpredictable person, I brought that strength into my parenting. So I'm unpredictable. Y'all could come in and y'all could tear up the whole house. And my reaction when I came in the last time was, you know what? I'm not going to deal with that. All of y'all go outside, which is probably what they wanted anyway. Everybody get outside and get out of my face, right? So they may do it again on purpose because they'd be like, man, it was epic. Remember that time when mom got so mad? She told us all to go outside and get out her face and we met up with our friends. Yeah, so I'm going to come in the next time and it's all torn up and I'm going to just create a boot camp. Now we're going to clean up not only the mess that you made, but I'm about to start breaking shit. And when I start breaking stuff, you going to clean that up too. And they're like, wait, last time you said go outside, mama. Like, I thought we was going outside. Nope, ain't nobody going outside. Matter of fact, nobody's going outside for the next 6 months. I'm that parent. And now we all sitting in the house miserable and nobody can go outside. Because, again, I'm going to teach you guys about sacrifice as well. And sacrifice is meaning, when the children are on punishment, boo. Sometimes you got to be on punishment too so you can keep an eye on them. So when I say everybody's not going outside, that means everybody's not going outside. So I'm not going to meet my friends and hang out. Right? No one's going outside. Get it? And so the whole house is miserable. By the time the 6 months is up, longevity is another secret of mine. By the time the 6 months is up, they can't wait to be the good little angels that they are. So when my children would get in trouble, it was always once a year. And we would always do little countdowns like, okay, there goes the oldest one. And so the oldest, that Reese's Pieces, she's always going to get hers in. Like, she has to bring in the new year with some epic drama, right? So she's going to cut up. So we can almost count on her to be first. Count on her to be first. Little sneaky little Rose, I don't know. Like, she may or may not do it, or she may do it and she'll slide it in. I don't even know she did it, right? So, like the time when she went and pierced her ears at school during lunch because I said no to ear piercing, right? So there's that, and I think it took me a while to realize that she had did it because she was so sneaky with it. So, and then, there's Nicholas. You just never know. The kid, he's going to get in trouble. He's not going to get in trouble. You never know what the kid's going to do. So, but they always did it once a year. So people say, what's your secret? I don't know. I guess because when they get in trouble, I'm making it epic. I am going to make this the journey of a lifetime. Oh, so we're about to cut up? Like, so you just didn't decide that you were going to be, oops, mommy, I did something wrong. You just went all the way out and pissed me all the way to F off, right? So when you piss me all the way to F off, anybody that knows me, always keep me happy. Because I am always, by the majority, I'm always in happy mode. I'm always in peace, love, and give mode, right? So me being happy is the peace of mind that the entire nation deserves. Like, it's the peace of mind that the world deserves. Have you ever seen that little cartoon with Katie Kaboom? So I'm Katie Kaboom. When Katie kabooms, you don't want that. Right? So when I get upset, nobody wants that. Like, my children be on the phone with my mom by the time it's over. Nobody wants me getting pissed off. I know that there are many times that my children, when they had gotten in trouble over the years, they probably wanted to call, not the cops, they probably wanted to call the FBI. Like, help me in this situation because she's doing some old violation of parenting type stuff. But I wasn't doing anything that would hurt them or harm them. I simply don't play. So you decide to get in trouble in September, I'm going to take your television and your phone away, and you're not going to get it back to the last day of school in May. I don't play. I'm going to miss out on my shows because I may not even turn on the TV in the living room for that length of time. I don't play. Too many of you parents play. You tell them that they're on punishment, but then you turn around and do something totally different. So it tells the child, please, Ma, she's showing out. She flexy. Watch. Next thing you know, I'll be back to it. They know you. You're predictable. Stop being so predictable with those children, right? So, okay, where were we at? So we were talking about the spanking methods, right? So, and I want to make sure that I keep that a part of the focus because there's so many different parts of raising children that I want to make sure that I have each little segment in its order. But here's the thing with the spanking. Here's what my father taught me. I think that's what I told you guys earlier I was going to tell you. My father taught me when it came to spanking children to not ever do so in anger. You are not a child, okay? You brought that child in this world some kind of way. Whether you pushed that child out or you had a C-section, there was some sacrifices and pain that was made to that child that you brought in this world. Father, you helped make that child. You're not a child. You did some grown man-ish bringing that baby into this world, right? So you're not incapable. You're not able to be clueless as to what your anger is. Maybe you need therapy if you still don't really know what your real anger looks like, but you should know it because you're grown. You did some grown people stuff. So do not touch that child when you are angry. You take that one thing into parenting children, and I bet you will not even spank them when it's all said and done. But if you still feel like you need to spank them, we'll work on that. A lot of times, your spanking is displacement. The child embarrassed you. You don't want to hit that child for the wrong that they did. You're hitting them because you're embarrassed. Stop doing that. Stop hitting the child when you get embarrassed. Get over yourself. Bring your ego down. Let it go. That's a fight you're having. When you touch that child because you're embarrassed, you are not disciplining. You're not doing discipline. You are spanking. You're having a fist fight with a human being. One human to another. You're all out of any type of moral character by doing that. Don't touch that child when you're butthurt. And damn sure don't touch the child when you're angry. So if you can learn that, by the time you go through your 1, 2, 3, I got the victory. No, whatever you got to go through. By the time you go through counting and calming down and putting your damn ego in check, I said it. Put your ego in check. DeeVa said it. Once you go through all that, and it takes a minute, boo. Have you ever been mad? Like, you people are so perfect. Because I had road rage. Like, when I get pissed, I'm pissed. So I know my mad. When I have road rage, that's my really, really pissed off mad. Road rage happens if I feel disrespected, right? So if I'm ever anywhere and I feel disrespected, I'll be like, bitch. And I start talking shit to a window and they can't hear you, but it feels good, right? But, so you know you're angry. So don't even really talk to the child when you're there. Because sometimes you guys are going to say some really damaging things that's going to impact that child for the rest of their life. So let's just give a little example of that for a moment, and we'll come back to that. But that's lesson number 1 when it comes to the spanking. Do not. And I took that from my father, and it was successful in raising my children and encouraging my friends and family off of their children, and they're really, really pissed off. Don't touch that child when you're angry. Don't do that. Stop being resistant to that. That's not something that you can debate. Don't touch that child when you are angry. Now, there's an example of words, right? So, my son came home one day. Hilarious story in the end, maybe for some, but it just really had it really had me upset. My son comes home one day and he says, "Mom, my teacher said," and the moment after said, I was just like blown away because I'm like, "Excuse me?" She said, "What?" He said, "Mom, my teacher said that I'm never going to amount to anything." Okay, excuse me, what? My teacher said I'm never going to amount to anything. Why did she say that to you, son? Well, she said that because I was, not paying attention or something like that. And I wasn't doing, I didn't complete the work in the time frame that I was supposed to complete it in. And she got upset. And when I didn't complete it in that time frame, she said, "You're never going to amount to anything." Okay. Words have a lot of power. That little phrase made my child so determined to not only amount to a little, my child was determined to amount to everything. You know what I'm saying? So that pushed us further than we could have thought we could have been pushed. So sometimes words have purpose. The law of attraction. Nothing ever happens for no reason at all. But I went in and I had to go tell Becky, baby, I don't know how you raise your children, but I don't raise my children with that negativity. I don't do the you ain't shit raising. I have my own personal reasons. Call it displacement, if you may. I will not talk to my children in a way that makes them think that they cannot become anything. My father didn't talk to me that way. My father didn't talk to other people's children that way. So I won't have mine talked to that way. And if I trust my child in your environment, you will come as close as you can come to talking to them the way that I talk to them, or you going to catch these hands. So I go into the VP office, and I think I put a hole in her walls. This sweet little lady. Gosh, what she thinks of me at this time. I put a hole in her wall, slamming her door open to come check her about her teacher. I'm not that bitch. You're not going to talk to my children that way. And I don't like when my friends talk to their children that way. I don't want my family members talking to their children that way. Don't you say things like that, because words have a long impact on a person's life. Watch what you say to them. They're little humans. You big ass bully. I moved him from the classroom after I checked that out. But that's a long story. That's neither here or there. You will not talk to my children that way. And I encourage you as a parent, because they didn't ask to be in your life. The universe provided you that. That was God's plan. You don't talk to them that way. You don't tell them what they will not be. You don't know. Who are you? Because you didn't become something they're not going to. Those are your own issues. Work out your displacement issues. Those are your issues. Don't put that on the child. So we go back to being in anger. So definitely don't spank them in anger, but you dang sure don't come at them and say negative, ugly, nasty things to them while you're spanking them, unless they have done the most epic of wrongs. Each one of my children have one epic wrong that they did. Oops, I know mama was not going to allow that. And they got cussed all the way out. But even when I'm cursing people out, I don't put you down. And learn how to sailor mouth. How about that? I need to teach you bitches how to cuss. Like, learn how to you can curse without putting people down. I see you guys cuss out your spouses and your family members and your kids, and it's negative. What you criticizing others, you identifying yourself. Like, you're saying things that you hate within your own self. All you have to do is just cuss. Who told you to put people down while you cursing? Whoever taught y'all how to cuss? No, I'm sorry. Whole nother message. But don't curse and put them down. Don't put them down. Like, you're gonna curse. I'm a cursor. You piss me off, bitch, it's on. So I'm not gonna tell you not to curse, but I'm telling you, don't put them down. Do you know, if you don't understand that, you go to counseling right now. Don't do that. Don't bruise their egos. They won't become successful if you do that. You will get in their way. Don't do that. That's not the way to raise children. They're not little people that you can bully. They're not that. That's not what they were put on this earth for. Okay? And then we have, so I say don't do it in anger. And then, so in order to get out of anger, you have to go take your time. You need to meditate. You need to take time for you. You need to think about why you feel like a spanking is the only way that they're going to learn this. Why do you feel like Sally can only get it if you spank her? Who told you that that's the only way that Becky's going to understand it? Who told you that? Who told you that you have to go upside Johnny's head? Now let's get to the part about when you do spank, because some of you are determined. going upside a child's head, literally in like every part of that word, I mean, hitting them on their neck, their cheek, their mouth, their nose, their eye, their shoulders, their front of their chest, their stomach, their back, their leg. When you're punching them with your fist, you are not spanking your child, bitch, you in a street fight. I'm sorry, no one ever told you that. That is not a spanking. Bitch, you're fighting. You're mad at your dad. Don't touch children that way. That is not how you discipline a child. And it's not effective. You're teaching them to go to school and fight. That's what you want? You think you want it until you realize that they locking up 6-year-olds now. Yeah, boo. They pulling 6-year-olds out of class and putting handcuffs on them because they scared that your little kid's going to beat up their kid and you know they scared your child going to win. And we don't have to talk about who they and all that I'm talking about because some of y'all woke. You hear where I'm coming from? So, no. Who told you that method works? Who lied to you? I'm sorry because it doesn't work. If you're going to spank them, old school, they used to tap you on your hand, right? A real good tap, make you understand you didn't come to play, right? Or they would tell you that you had to bend over and touch your toes, and they would take the paddle and they would paddle your behind, right? That's about as close to tolerating spanking that I can come. That's it. If that's what you feel like I need to get at them, then that's what you could do. Especially when they're little. Who are you? Who are you to be slapping a child across their face and they're 5? I'm going to tell you how bad a bitch I am. If I see you and you slap them across their face, turn around and look at me if I'm in the room. Because you're going to see it's taking all my might not to come beat your ass. I'll go to jail for a child to protect that child. Okay? Worried about you? You want to press charges? Bitch, press them. Your lip is all bent out of shape. You're going to barely be able to call 911 because I'm coming for you. Because you don't hit a child like that. You're a bully. You have displacement. You're mad at your dad or your mom. That's your issue, not that child. You shouldn't have been taught that way, and that's not the way to do it, right? So, don't do it in anger. Don't hit them in methods that are not considered a spanking if you must spank them. That's not the way that you do that. You want successful children? Let me show you consequences. Has anyone ever taught you that? There are consequences for your actions, right? They didn't mean go out and get a switch larger than the trees in North Carolina and beat them. That's not what they meant. Consequences are learned painlessly, but painfully. Nothing physically happens to the skin. No bleeding to the white meat. That doesn't have to happen to get a child to understand consequences. You got to remove your comfort zone. You have to sacrifice. You did what? Oh, boo, so you got in trouble at school. And I told you, do not get in trouble at school. And they put you in ISS or you went to the principal's office. Guess what? You are not going to your friend's house or to the movies for the rest of the year. So, consequences. Mama, it's movie night and I'm on punishment. Am I going with you and daddy them? Oh, no, baby, we canceled movie night. Your brother, what the fuck? Watch your mouth. Because your brother pissed. Mama, we not doing what? Oh, boo, we're not going to the movies. Your sister ruined it for everybody. Everybody don't go to the movies for the rest of the school year. Got it? Cell phone companies. Did you know that every cell phone company will temporarily suspend a phone, especially if you call them and say, hi, my daughter has a phone on my phone line. I need to suspend it And I will, oh ma'am, we can only suspend it for 15 or 30 days. That's fine. What you're going to have to do is call back every 15 days. Not a problem. Sacrifice. Got to teach her those consequences. Suspend that phone for 8 months, mama. Hit the whole school year up. She can Wi-Fi her way through life. Wi-Fi. If I even let you keep the phone. Sometimes it'll be like, okay, it's suspended. The only phone calls that she can receive and texts that she can receive are from me and her. Can you hook that up for me, sir? Most phone companies, not a problem. Who can she speak with, ma'am? Me, dad, grandpa, blah, blah. No problem, ma'am. We have that hooked up. Can we assist you with anything else? And show them who's boss without touching them. So, suspend, and the reason why I tell you to suspend the phones, funny story, I used to take my children's phones, but of course I am human. So by the time I am just like, oh my God, I gotta go to bed. So I'll finally go to sleep. My little daughters told me in a hee ha ha moment that has ruined it for all people later in life. Cause I used to tell my friends, take the phone away and then take the battery out. Right? And put it in your room. Well, my daughters learned where I would put it up in my room, and they would put the battery back in and talk and then take the battery back out and go back upstairs while I was sleeping. That's the little thing they told me when they were grown. I was like, oh, bad. They thought they were grown. They're in high school when they told me. So when I hit them with the next punishment, I called the cell phone service. So that's why I learned that tip from. So they're sneaky. So you got to be, don't let them listen to the podcast so that you could get ahead of them. You let them listen, they're going to know what you're doing. But, you have to get ahead of them. You have to get ahead of them. You have to think. You also need to start doing your meditation alongside your prayer. If you're so church driven, but you still got bad kids, right? That's another thing that you guys need to stop doing. Speaking of, stop telling them that they're bad. I tell my children, Mom, she's BAD. No, you can say challenging. She's challenging. Stop calling them BAD or you're going to get BAD. The universe only gives you what you call out for. Law of attraction. The secret. So stop saying they're bad. Stop saying they're hard-headed. Stop saying this, that. All that's obvious. Just call it challenging. They'll get past challenges, don't we all? So, sacrifice is what I said I would expand on. You have to sacrifice. You don't continue to take them to the barbecues that you're hanging out with where they're going upstairs and hanging out with their friends. She's got a phone. She's going to let her use the phone. So when they are on punishment, you don't go to the barbecue. Hell, some of you don't even need to go to church. They sneak and do that at church. Miss church. Sacrifice. God's in you anyway. Guys understand that? Sacrifice. When it's a punishment, punish yourself with it. It's going to be your growth season. Okay? Pull back from activity so that they can see, man, she going fed. You know how the kids say that? I'm going fed, man. All because I did X, Y, Z. The whole family can't do nothing now. My brother and sister, them trying to punch my eye out at night. They'll be all right. They'll pinch each other, punch each other. They're going to be fine because they're going to learn these lessons and become successful. Okay? But you teach them to fight, they'll grow up fighting. Their girlfriends, their boyfriends, people at school, in college, at work. They'll constantly get arrested at bars. Might do some jail time. It's not needed. It's not needed. So take some of the things that I gave you. Hopefully that does something for you. We're here longer than I even thought that we would be on this one. Tell me your thoughts. I'm going to give us a little bill paying moment again, but tell me what you think and make sure that you're clicking on the YouTube. Hashtag Ask DeeVa on YouTube. Make sure that you're clicking on the YouTube. You guys give me a minute and I'll come back and say goodbye.
So you can follow me on social media at Mz DeeVa for you. That is my handle on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, Mz DeeVa, the number 4YOU. You also can go to the Facebook page, hashtag ASKDeeva. You can also find that page on Instagram, hashtag ASKDeeva. For all things Diva, go to askdiva.onuniverse.com. Thanks, everyone. Okay, I get it. So you do not want to go over to different places all over the place, every podcast app. You don't want to download a bunch of things on your phone, or you just don't have the room on your phone. I solved that for you. So you can go to askdiva.onuniverse.com, go to the podcast page and just click on the various ones, take a listen, or just go to YouTube. Some people don't want to download a bunch of apps. You can just go to YouTube. Ask Diva is on YouTube. So it's various places. I'm trying to make it happen for everyone because you all use different apps. So I understand that. Do what's best for you. I'm going to make the show available on every app that I can. For a friend to tell another friend to tune into the Ask Diva show.
That's it, lovers. Tell your friend to tell another friend. I want you to tune in. I want you to share. This can help somebody. So if you already have it all figured out because you're a know-it-all and your ego is too big, share it. You don't have to listen to me. You got this, girl. Never was talking to you in the first place, right, dude? No, I'm joking. So I want you guys to share it. Share it. Help somebody. Help somebody. Don't try to paraphrase. Just let them press play and hear what's for them, right? That's it. That's all I have to say for today. See you later. Coming back with another hot topic soon. Share these. Thank you for the 3 to 6 million show, for the high views on that one, and for the Pastor Thaddeus. You guys are so crazy. That was me joking around, but wow, you guys have that at 98 views. I think you are on YouTube, and you guys are at 3 to 6 million. Dating single topic, you guys are at 70 or so views. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, and have a great day. See you later.